Well, this evening we've come up to the upper section of Westfair, which is the top end of the beat. And this is a whole section which is a bit narrower and it lends itself very well to wild fish. So I want to go in here this evening and have a look, see what happens in the evening rise. See a few midge knocking around. Time's about 20 past 8, so it should be coming quite good in fairly short order. I'm just going to lengthen up my tippet, put some lighter stuff on, give me a bit more distance, because I suspect the fish up here are going to be rather wily. So what we're here for this evening is the evening rise. The evening rise is really that magic buzz phrase that all fly fishermen get incredibly excited about. When the sun begins to dip across the meadows, and you might see a barn owl or some of the local wildlife emerging, that's normally when you get a really good hatch, and that is when the fish start to feed. And I think I will start proceedings this evening with a very small size 18 CDC midge. It's always been a very successful pattern for me, until perhaps we see a few sedge coming down onto the water. The evening rise is a magical time to be on the water, and it's one of the things I love most about our chalk streams. Ooh, just heard a plop under the bridge. It's got me very excited. As I said before, there's something just really magical about being on the river at this time of the evening. You can hear the sounds of nature. Strutting cock pheasants, sound of the lambs. Ooh, maybe the silence of the lambs. No, it's okay, they're making plenty of noise. Ooh, still a few mayfly on the water, though nothing snaffled that one. So this is just looking absolutely gorgeous. It's pretty skinny. Creepy. See the insects all over the water there. Ugh, gets me so excited. Oh, and there's a lovely swirly rise on the corner. Just a dimple in the surface. Just gonna creep up here along this fringe edge. It's just on the corner there. Work a bit of line out. I always say make your first cast your best. That. Right over the top of him. Oh, come on. No love. Big fish. So really cracking fish just moved right on the corner. But I think we're going to have to be very careful about getting too close with this one. Right. Try not to fall in the river here. Yes! Absolute belter! Almost head and tailed for that fish. Oh, cracking fish. Ooh. He's not happy. I actually thought that I'd gone over the top of him by then, but no. He's moving a lot of water. Take my time a little bit with that. He is not happy. Oh, he's going to head downstream now. Now, I'm going to try and step into the river. God, that's a monster. Don't know how close I can get. Oh, wet feet. Oh well, never mind, it's worth it. Oh, thank you very much. Oh, tail leap and everything. Yes! Now that is quite a fish. Right in the scissors. Flies out. Right, let's get this fish back in. And there you go. Thank you, sir. What a phenomenal fish. That is a cracking brown trout. I think that's probably my best fish of the season. Oh, fantastic. And that is what the evening rise is all about. Oh, wow. I think I need to recover a bit after that. That was far too exciting. It's a rather lovely hatch of blue-winged olive coming off now, which is quite exciting. This stretch looks fantastic. Good evening, Mr. Pheasant. Lovely little fish, rising right up at the top there. Oh, yeah. Interesting. It's going to be a tough cast. I think he's feeding on those BWOs, those blue-winged olives. Just going to watch him for a couple of seconds and see if he moves again. Try and pinpoint his position. It's always better. Oh, and there he is again. It's always best to just take your time. All right, I think we'll have a go. Right along the far bank. This bit up here is where it begins to get really narrow, but it's still quite deep. It's a really special little part of the river here, and not many people come up here. There's a little fish just rising right up here on the corner. Definitely a little wildy. There he is. Just get the right length. A bit too far. There, right there. Oh, come on, fish. Sneak up a little bit closer. Well, it's 9:30, and I got up to the top of that section, spooked some wild fish, which are far cleverer than I. So I thought maybe I'll head across the watermellow and head back down to the bottom end of this bit. See if there's anything happening in that deeper water down there before we lose the light entirely. It's kind of special though. Wandering around the meadow late in the evening, it very much takes me back to the days of my childhood when I was growing up, in my teens. And my father and I used to spend an awful lot of time out fishing, probably far more than we should. And we spent many a happy evening poddling around through the water meadows, trying to catch that last trout before you could no longer see the fish, your flies, and you were basically striking at the noise in the dark, which was incredibly exciting. But it does certainly take me back. This is really quite a special place. We've got a lot of water here at Westfair. So now I'm going to come down here and have a look at this lower part, which is much deeper, fairly high banked. So I'm going to give it a nice wide berth, try and tread quite softly, and see what's occurring. So this is fantastic stone buttress here. And this section is really quite deep. Not much happening at the moment. There's a hell of a lot of midge on the water. Oh, I could just sit here and take all of this in. Oh, and we have action. That was definitely chasing a sedge. I think we'll put a sedge on. Today, as luck would have it, I had a little delivery of flies from my friends at Fulling Mill. And amongst those, some new CDC sedge patterns, which I'm very excited to try out. These guys, look at those. Don't those look fantastic? Now that has got to do the biz, I reckon. Trying to see if he comes again. This is great. Oh. Did you hear that? big splosh around the corner under those bushes. Pretty much impossible to get at. But one day I'll figure that one out. This thing's awesome. Just nip the barb off. And there he goes again. Oh. Come on, let's have a crack. Okay, so he's tucked in that little corner there. Just gauge the distance. I think we can get a little closer than that actually. Fish is much higher up. See that little nook in the corner there. And, oh, it's not a little fish. Oh, 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 whoa. No hesitation. No, 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 don't go under there. Don't go under there. Beautiful fish. Just put some side strain on him and try and get him back up here again. Right. Ooh, didn't like that. Oh, no, 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 don't go down there. Oh, no, no, you've got to try and go around the corner, are you? Gotcha. What a beautifully coloured trout. It's the colour of butter. Sedge right in the scissors. Fly straight out. Let's have him back quickly. I knew those flies were going to be awesome. No hesitation at all. That was so much fun, it was freaky. There's nothing quite like fish coming out on sedges. This time when it's just really the light is going and those sedges are fluttering around on the water surface, they just can't resist them. And it's a big chunky meal. And it's a bit like mayfly or something like that. They just love it. I'm sure there's going to be one or two more hopping up and down up here. The bats are out. And they're winging around, so I think that's probably time to call it quits and head home. Well, it's been a phenomenally cool evening on the river. Really enjoyed it. Had some cracking fish. We've seen midge hatches, blue-winged olive, sedge, fish slashing at sedge, hooked a monster. What else could you possibly hope for? I hope you've enjoyed this little soiree on the river with me this evening. Give us a like and a subscribe, and we'll look forward to seeing you on the next one. And maybe down here at Westfair.